my treat. Here.
Deposit your money and the game begins. Who knows where it will take you? It's a trip through the world of virtual reality, courtesy of Full Moon Entertainment's latest release, Arcade. Veteran director Albert Pune returns to Full Moon with Arcade as a unique new medium for terror.
Well, when Charlie first approached me with the title Arcade, and that he wanted to do a horror film set in a arcade situation, I had been reading some articles about virtual reality and thought it was an interesting framework for a horror film to take place in.
This new technology includes the player as an active participant in the game, and the player's experiences and personality dictate which way the game will proceed.
What?
Give me a try. You might like it.
I think what's interesting about the game is that each level has a different aspect in terms of how it works on Megan's personality, her character's personality. So I think each of the levels have their own sort of, fascinating facet to it.
Step into the vortex.
Megan Ward portrays the troubled youth Alex, who is struggling with her inner demons while trying to save her friends.
What's nice about Arcade is that Alex is the unexpected hero. It's the last person you would think to save the day, because she's got a lot of problems, but she has to also save all her friends from this vicious monster, this machine that's taking over. My favorite thing about being a hero is that I get the applause at the end. No.
Okay, that's print and wrap.
Even heroes need help sometimes, and Alex gets some from her friend Nick, played by Peter Billingsley.
Albert, behind her. Behind her. Do something.
Off camera, Megan and Peter found time for some fun.
Are you filming? See, he just got wounded by the screamer. This is what the screamer can do.
What's the screamer?
The screamer is what chases us in the game.
It's the thing that comes out if you spend too much time on a certain
It's like fate, you know? It's like time catching up with you.
That was bad.
Rounding off the cast are a few more familiar faces sucked in by Arcade. A.J. Langer, Seth Green, and Brandon Rain.
Take over the world.
It will take you beyond the boundaries of
Reality.
Will never be the
Will
same.
never be the same.
True.
Well, the favorite level, the level with the boat scene, when I get to just come out and tell Alex everything I think of her. I wish I could kick her butt, but in the end, she gets me.
She
And I
saves
don't
your
get
life,
it,
man.
but she does save my life. But you're the truth teller.
I lied.
Oh, it's
Arcade
crazy.
will rule the world. There is no escape. Oh, stop. It's too intense.
When we said reality will never be the same, we weren't kidding.
Each player must wear several accessories to enter the world of Arcade.
These are the cyber gloves, and this is what enables you to actually touch the virtual reality. This is your headpiece. This is what you look into, and these are our joysticks so we can maneuver. And this is our escape button when things get hot and heavy. We just hope that the escape button works.
Once inside the arcade world, the special effects magic takes over.
What they've done is they've painted the trucks and the wheels blue, which matches the blue color of the blue screen. Now, anything that matches that color is going to be omitted from the picture. So therefore, it's going to leave the board looking like a hoverboard with these omitted, as though we were just floating in midair. Pretty neat, huh?
Don't tell all the secrets, Peter.
Sorry.
An oversized blue screen was created to give the illusion that the player was completely enveloped in the computer world, and a special camera was used to film the sequences.
This machine here is called a power pod, and
it's a remote control head that maneuvers the camera detached from the head. So I am operating the camera in the luxury of these wheels here. Pan and tilt here. And I have a monitor. I don't know if you can see this as my viewfinder. So it's pretty neat. I can orient these any way I want.
And the PowerPod allowed us to make quite a few kind of radical camera moves very easily, and it could just float over the stage and allow the camera to get into a lot of positions that normally we couldn't in a conventional way.
After the blue screen footage is shot, the blue background behind the actors is electronically removed and replaced with new images created by the computer animation company Digital Fantasy.
For Arcade, we are creating several levels of animation. We're creating two-dimensional animation and matte paintings for the backgrounds, and we're also creating entire three-dimensional sets and animations for other pieces of the film. Two-dimensional computer animation is very similar to standard cell animation, the kind of work that's been done in cartoons for years. The difference is that you're painting with pixels rather than painting with paint on acetate. You're creating the entire image inside the computer. These are the digital matte paintings that we're creating for the film. As you can see, we've got scanned-in images of the characters, and we're literally putting them into worlds. 3D animation is something else entirely. 3D animation is more of a set design and object building type of work than painting. You don't so much create the images as you create the objects. Describe to the computer literally what an object is, how shiny it is, what color it is, how reflective it is, where the light is hitting it from, what color of light bounces back. All of these descriptions are keyed into the computer, and then you tell the computer to draw the image. Then we start putting it through tests. We start rendering images to see what it looks like. And then when it's finally tweaked to the point that you're really happy with it, you set it down for the final render. Generally, the final render tends to be the most time-consuming but least labor-intensive part for the people. The computer does all the work at that point. And this is actually the model building part of the program. Right here on the screen, what we have is a model of light cycles. If we look at it in a perspective view, we can see the object that we're building as we're developing it. The computer will draw a wireframe version of the model to let you know what it's looking like at this point. At any given time, you can go in and render it full color to see what it looks like, but for speed purposes, we tend to work with it in wireframe just so that we have an idea as to what it's going to look like in proportion wherever it's going to be moving on the screen. I think this is going to be one of the most computer animation intensive films ever made. There are several major sequences. One, of course, is the bike chase. That is almost entirely created inside of 3D. Another bit that we've added is Arcade actually talking. The Arcade creature, the Arcade face, is created three-dimensionally.
A heartless monster, of course.
All told, I would say I'm very happy. People are going to give us the greatest compliment by not noticing what we have done. They're just going to accept it, and it's going to be part of the film experience. They're not going to be paying attention to the match shots in the background anymore. They're just going to accept it as being trapped inside of a video game.
You forgot my free life.
Well, special effects may be the most spectacular part of Arcade, but it was the human element that brought it all together.
Yeah, we're just becoming one big happy family.
Happy family.
I think the audience is really at first going to come to the movie, of course, to see the effects, and they are wonderful. But I think that one of the great things in the film is the scenes with the kids and their rapport, and I think that we improvise a lot of their scenes, and I think that you see kind of a youthful exuberance that you normally don't see in a film. I think it's fresh and very spontaneous and a lot of fun, and I think that audiences will come away with that being probably their fondest memory of the film.
Yeah. Peace. Thanks. Bye.
Arcade. Kiss reality goodbye.